Welcome back to Diving Into Watches, and today we're going to be doing a review of a company that's been around a long time. They actually were formed in 1853 in Switzerland, and they've been producing watches ever since, from dress watches to sports bracelet integrated watches in the 70s, and all the way up through into dive watches and in today. And probably their most popular release, that the minute I say it, everybody's going to know exactly who the watch company is the PRX, that is powered either by quartz or the Powermatic 80. Company is obviously Tissot. I'm not going to go into the whole background of Tissot, as everybody has seen plenty of videos on Tissot watches and knows the background of Tissot. I am going to be actually reviewing the Tissot Seastar 1000 with the Powermatic 80 in it. This is one of the lines of their Seastar line. You have the Seastar 2000. The differentiation is obviously in the dial and some aesthetics, and then between quartz and the automatic. This is the automatic movement with Powermatic 80, which we all know is a very popular movement that Seastar, or I should say Tissot, uses in a lot of their watches. It is an ETA caliber 07 based movement, but they've obviously modified it to be their in-house movement, which ETA is owned by Swatch, Tissot is owned by Swatch, so it makes sense that they would be using this movement in a lot of their watches. It is a good movement. There are pros and cons to it. One of the ones is it's a non-regulatable watch, which means there's no regulator on it, so you cannot regulate the watch as far as time. So whatever it comes to you out of the box is the time that's going to be running at it. There's no way to regulate that watch. That doesn't mean it's a bad movement. It's just a solid movement, and ETA does make a great movement. It is a Swiss-based movement, beating at 21,600 VPH. So that's where they're getting their 80 hours of power reserve. Obviously, Powermatic 80 hours reserve, which is good to have. It is in no way a bad movement. It is a popular movement, just like to Seiko, the NH35 and 36 is the standard go-to movement for the vast majority of Seiko watches. So it would make sense that that one is the go-to movement for Tissot. I've had this watch for a little over a couple weeks now. This is my first Tissot, so this will be my first review of the Tissot. I had looked at the the PRX at one time, but I did not go down that route. It just seemed that it was very, very hyped and it was very, very popular. And then now it's just kind of like fallen off. And now Tissot is just doing tons of different versions of the PRX, trying to keep that watch that's been very popular for them going. I have nothing against the PRX. I do like the integrated bracelet style watches of the 70s. It's just not my style. As you know, the dive watch is probably the most popular style of watch out there among all manufacturers. And within the dive watch realm, there are many different styles of dive watches. So it's not just a set one. But we will be do an in-depth review of the the Seastar Powermatic 1000, Powermatic Seastar 1000 Powermatic 80, giving you the pros and giving you the cons. I'm going to tell you the great things I love about it, and there's going to tell you a few things that I don't like about it, where I think Tissot cut corners on it that I don't know why they did that. But overall, very happy with the watch. Very enjoy it. The fit and finish is excellent. We will cover all that on the bench, but without further ado, let's go over to the bench and let's take a full in-depth review of the Tissot Seastar 1000 Powermatic 80. All right, here we are on the bench. This is a up-close look at the Tissot Seastar Powermatic 80. It is a 300-meter dive watch. It is actually a very, very comfortable watch to wear, and is actually a very, very good-looking watch in the fit and finish of it. Before we get into the nitty-gritties, let's go ahead and knock out all the details that everybody likes to know in the beginning. It is a 43-millimeter watch. It is a 21, I'm sorry, yes, it's a 21 millimeter lug, and it is 48 millimeters from lug to lug, and case thickness is 12.7 millimeters, so it's not overly thick. It's not on the thin side. It's about average for what you expect from a dive watch. Looking at the fit and finish, the aesthetics of the watch, it is a ceramic bezel, which is very nice. The dial is a dark, I'm going to say a forest green that radiates into a black on the way out. And depending on which way you turn the watch, you can see here it almost turns almost black completely. It has a nice gradient on it. It is a smooth dial. It is applied indices, you can see that it's almost with the minute track. It looks like it's almost an inlay as the minute track is part of the applied indices, but they do loom very, very nice. And we will get a Lume Shot. It is super luminova bright on it. It is your standard sword hands, and I do like that the second, I'm sorry, not the second, the minute hand is extremely longer than normal, so you're getting it up there on the minute track. And then the second's hand is a lollipop on the end with a T on the end, indicating obviously a Tissot. I like that the second hand is very long and goes almost out to the very edge of the bezel, of the inner ring, which is very, very nice. The window for the watch is down at the 6 o'clock position with a round window with a date in it with black background, which is nice, and it says Swiss made on the bottom. So overall, the fit and finish of this is extremely nice. It's 120 click bezel. The bezel action on this Tissot is incredible. Very easy to move. I am barely applying. It's enough that it's not going to get whacked, but you're not having to crank on it super hard like you've seen on some of my other reviews, or like the Spinnaker review I did before. That was just a real pain to move. It is very easy to move, very definitive clicks, very solid, and the QC is top notch. You can see it lines up perfectly at the 12 o'clock with that diamond pip that is loomed, and then the diamond indice at the 12 o'clock. It does have nice crown guards on it, which are protrude out nicely to protect the crown. The crown is marked with the T for the Tissot. Unfortunately, it does not line up, the vertical to match up, but it is perfect on the horizontal. The fit and finish is extremely nice. The watch is a combination of a brushed matte and a polished parts of the watch. You can see from the side, you got the brushed and the polished. The top is also brushed and polished, and the side you got a brushed and polished. Let's open it up here, the back, so you can see the back. It is a just a clasp, safety clasp. There is no push button deployments, which I wish they would have had. The back is an exhibition display case, and it is a screw down case back. It has the movement is extremely nice. It has 24, I want to say this one's 24 jewel or 25 jewel. I'll have to double check that. But the skeletonized rotor is extremely nice, and you can see the gold, it's probably anodized gears in there, which adds just some nice look to it. You can see the jewels right there. Whoops. You can just see that they've done very, very well on the Powermatic 80 or the ETA movement to make it very nice and presentable. Some watches will have that case back where you can see the movement, but this movement is just nothing to look at. But you can see many of the gears are gold, and the wheel there's in my mind is blanking on it, but it does present very nicely as an exhibition case back. So you are going to get some nice look on the back, and the screw down crown, the screw down case back does have some nice markings on it, just to add some additional bling to it. The band is where Tissot, I want to say, skimped on the price of this one. It's what I would call a tank track bracelet. It is a nice bracelet. It is comfortable. I have found it to pull a few of my hairs. Where I don't like, and you probably can see it right now, is just your basic standard stamped bracelet. I just don't like that. It doesn't even have push button deployment, which I would kind of hope for in a watch of this caliber. There's only it has 3 micro adjustments. It does have a diver's extension on it, so you can pop it open and get some extra room on it if you needed to, if you're going to be diving with it and putting it over a wetsuit. So that is kind of a cool feature, and it snaps back very nicely. Getting this to adjust perfectly to your wrist is very easy to do. I just wish that they wouldn't have skimped on this part here. It just, man, it really bums me out. I did get this watch off of Lume Shot. I think on Tissot's website, they are asking $795 for this watch. And I picked it up on Lume Shot with Lume Shot's 2-year warranty, because obviously they're aftermarket, gray market dealer. 2-year warranty, yeah, for about $530, I think it was $535. So I got a substantial discount by going through Lume Shot versus going through Tissot. Get some of these fingerprints off of here. So if you're looking to pick one of these up, I would definitely go through Lume Shot or maybe Amazon, one of those retailers. I wouldn't pay $7.95 for it. If I was paying $7.95 full price for this, I would expect a much higher caliber bracelet than what it comes on. That just lets me down a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. It's still a comfortable bracelet. The bracelet is stamped with the T for the Tissot, so they make it nice. It looks very, very nice. It has the brushed and the polished end links on it. I'm sorry, not end links, but polished links on it, so it does match and go and blend well very nicely with the watch. It is solid end links. I'm sorry, it is not solid end links, but the way the end links work, it works very, very well. They're not drilled. I'm okay with that. That does not bother me at all. But the end links are not looking like your cheap stamped ones. They look like they're milled. I have not pulled it apart to look about putting another bracelet on it. I know you can get this with a rubber bracelet or a rubber strap option. So these obviously look solid and not stamped, which is nice. It's just that the Tissot just kind of dropped the ball a little bit, I think, right here in this portion. I don't know why they do that, but it just seems like that's the most common one of all watches. Uh, but overall, very, very impressed with this watch. Very, very comfortable to wear. I do like the 80-hour power reserve. I've put this down for a couple days and gone back to it, and it has been running. Quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing my new Spinnaker DeMoss. I'm really fallen in love with this watch. This one has the kind of, you can see how much I've been wearing. You can actually see some scratches on the clasp there. But this one has the type of clasp. This is a milled butterfly clasp that you'd want. I will be doing a review on this one the next time around. But incredible watch, 1,000 feet, 300-meter dive watch. You definitely get a lot for this watch, and I will be reviewing that one. But we're not here to talk about that one. We're here to talk about the Seastar Powermatic. So you do get 1,000 feet with this one also, which is nice. And it is a 21,600 beat movement, so it's not a high beat movement. I did put it on the time grapher, and it's running, depending on what position you put it in, from flat to hanging like it's on a watch, it's running from +4 to -5 seconds a day, which overall is not bad at all. I'm very comfortable with that parameter range. Um, when you're wearing the wrist, you're not noticing it all. Other than when you're wearing the watch on your wrist, you're not noticing it at all. It's not overly heavy. It is a 180-gram watch, so it is on the heavier side, but it's not over 200. I think if you took it off the bracelet and put it on a rubber strap, it's going to drop it probably down to about 150 grams. So you feel the watch, but it's not so heft that you feel like you're carrying a weight around all day. Very comfortable, other than the little bit of hairs being pulled, as I stated earlier. I don't like that part about it at all, but um, nothing you can do about that. That's just the nature of this type of bracelet. But let's go ahead and get a Lume shot, and we'll see how it looks under the Lume. So stand by. All right, there is the Lume on the Seastar. It is very nice. The Super Luminova, if you have a watch it has, as you know, it does very, very well. It lasts quite a while, and it stands out very nicely. When it's powered by the sun and you come in the house, even with light in the house or the building, wherever you're at, you can see the Lume right away. This is just using light within the office here. I didn't even use my black light on it, and you can see how light it brights up. The bezel is not lumed, unlike the Spinnakers. The bezel is lumed. This one just has the Lume with the 12 o'clock pip, and then the seconds hand is lumed with like a lollipop at the end. One thing I did notice in doing the research on this watch is that Tissot is very, very limited on the information that they give on the Powermatic movement. You're hard pressed. You have to go to some off website sites to get a lot of the details on the movement. They do not give a lot of information on their website, so I had to go to some alternate websites to figure out exactly what caliber this was based off of, what movement, what lift angle, so when I put it on the time grapher, etc. But overall, extremely happy with the movement. This is being my first Powermatic 80. I know I've read articles that some people just can't stand this movement, and others say it's just fine for what it is. As I stated earlier, I think this is their standard movement for most of their watches, and it's kind of like the Seiko movement to theirs. I think it works just fine. So if you're looking for a type of dive watch that's not going to break the bank, but it's going to add some nice nice finish and dress up that you could definitely wear this to the office. You could wear this, business casual. You could probably even get away with wearing this with the suit. It is a little on the thick side. I would pull it off. I would wear it with a suit. Or if I was still in the military, I would wear this in garrison, no problem. I think this would be a great watch to wear in garrison when you're not out in the field training. It's just a nice overall watch. It comes in many different colors. You can get it in blue, black, I think black and gold, and then obviously this green with the gradient dial. And you can see if I put the watch up here, you can see those indices kind of sit on a laid-in track. It almost looks like it is a sapphire crystal bezel, sapphire crystal with AR coating on it and reflected. It's not a ton of AR coating, but it does very, very well. I'm overall very happy with this one. So let's go back over to the studio, and I will give you my final reviews on the Tissot Seastar Powermatic 80. All right, folks. So there's the in-depth look at the Tissot Seastar 1000 Powermatic 80. Overall, I think it's a great watch. I don't think you can go wrong with Tissot. I do like the watch. I do like the brand. I've been following them for many years. I just have never picked one up. I did not jump on that PRX. I did not jump on that PRX bandwagon. I do like the Seastar. I think it's a nice watch. I think it's an excellent watch. Do I think it's a $900 or $800 watch? Not based on that bracelet. No, I don't. When you're getting into that price point, I expect a little more refinement on the watch. I would have liked to have seen the movement to be able to be regulated, to dial in that time a little bit if you wanted to. But overall, the fit and finish, the QC of the watch itself is excellent. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. I really do like the Seastar 2000 because it has, I think that movement's a little more upgraded. I think it's still the Powermatic 80, but the dial itself has some grooves carved into it. It just has a little more fit and finish styling that is nice. But that one is, I think, pushing to 1,000. I did not look for Lume Shot on that one. I might look down the road to pick one up, the Seastar 2000. But overall, I'm very, very impressed with this watch. I think it would be great, as I stated earlier, for an office or any other type of use. I don't think you can go wrong. I think it would look really good on a rubber strap also. I will probably keep this one on the bracelet. I don't think I need to go put this on a rubber strap. And being 21, it's kind of the odd number. 20 or 22 is the number you really like to see when it comes to the lug width. So that gives you a lot of different strap options. 21 is that oddball number, like a 19. But overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I think it's well worth the money. If you can get it in the 500 range, I would definitely not pick one up in the $800 range. I would check out Lume Shot or Amazon where you can pick these up. I kind of lean towards Lume Shot because you're going to have to have good dealings with them, have good dealings with their warranty work. Then in the 2-year extended warranty, which is a 2-year warranty, which is nice. So I would go out and take a look at the Tissot. They do come in different colors. They have the black and the gold. I stated earlier, the blue, the green. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, a little bit on the higher end of the watch spectrum, this is one to look at. Just know that Tissot is part of the Swatch Group, which most watch manufacturers nowadays are part of some conglomerate, and it is a pretty standard movement. The Powermatic is pretty standard movement for all of Tissot and all their watches they use. But it doesn't mean it's a bad movement. It does have that 80-hour power reserve, which is nice. It is not a high beat movement, which I would have liked to have seen, but typically when you go high beat, you're going to lose some of that power reserve. But overall, I don't think you can go wrong with the Tissot Seastar Powermatic 80. I want to thank everybody for watching the videos, for all my veterans out there, regardless of the country at least in the U.S. here. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. I appreciate all you guys that are still serving, those that have served past, present, and future. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, everybody. And until next week, when the next one comes out on this outstanding Spinnaker Dumas, which we'll be doing a review on, you stay safe, you stay healthy, and we'll see you next week because I am diving into watches and I'm out.